Well, here's the newest specimen in all of its ugly glory. I've been working on it the last couple days, trying to get some of the quirks ironed out with it. When you have a tractor that's sat for the better part of the last 20 years, you know, that's not going to be perfect, but this thing is actually in surprisingly good shape overall for what it is, and having spent most of its life down by the Jersey Shore where the salt air is not kind to any kind of equipment. It has been repainted at some point in its life, and the sheet metal is obviously not great, but I did get another set of sheet metal. I'm not sure if I'm going to swap this over or let it go with the other high crop M sitting back there, which is one serial number apart from this one. This is 43935 and that one is 43936. This one here is not terrible. Like I said, just working through some of the kinks. I had to swap the carburetor over with another one that I had laying around that was cleaned and rebuilt a while ago. I still got to get the load screw adjusted just right because it's still got a bit of a surge to it, and I have to run it with the choke pulled out. I also went through the fuel system real quick. I just cleaned out the sediment bowl and I took the fuel line off and blew that out. Changed the engine oil and also the oil in the air filter base, because God knows when that was last changed. And I just greased the cultivator arms real quick because they were just begging for grease. The Touch-O-Matic hydraulic valve has a leak, as you can see there. And it was actually empty when I got it, so the hydraulics wouldn't even work. So I topped the fluid off. I got to figure out where the leak's coming from. And the PTO could also use a new seal as well. But overall, honestly, it's really not bad. I mean, I still have a list of things I want to do to it. Just some cosmetic things, like I said, probably swap another good set of sheet metal over to it. Just kind of go through it. I want to swap the left rear tire over with a matching one from the other M that has the same tread. Probably swap the seat over too. I'm not really sure yet because somebody put this homemade seat base on it. Just kind of go through it. Probably change the transmission fluid, although the transmission is extremely quiet, so I got lucky there. No noises or anything. Brakes work good. Steering isn't terrible. It's pretty tight, but it does, when you get up to speed in fourth gear, it does get some depth wobble to it, which I think is probably in the wheel bearings, because the spindles actually, believe it or not, seem pretty tight. And with every one of these M high crops I've seen, the knuckle is welded to the top of the spindle shaft, so evidently that was a common weak point. But I'm just glad the front axle wasn't completely welded together like on the other M there. That axle's sitting in the junk pile, but it'd be good to use for a template to build another one. But yeah, not bad overall. Probably going to need a head gasket. I see it's weeping a little bit of oil out of here. I also had to change the points over because the old points were pretty much shot. The thing wouldn't stay running. It was hard to start. But yeah, otherwise not terrible. I mean, I think it'll clean up pretty well. And eventually I would like to do a full restoration, or at least a repaint on this one. With the other M over here, my plan was to do like a patina restoration where I stripped all the crappy bluish green paint off of it to try and bring back the original patina. And I was well on my way through that, but sometimes deals come up at the right time and you just got to jump. So this one will get professionally repainted someday, as long as I'm able to hang on to it. But it's kind of neat to be able to own 3 consecutive serial numbers of these things. There's 15 or 16 of these tractors still known to exist complete, and I've been fortunate to own 3 of them. So but that's kind of what we're dealing with right now.